Hey everybody, how are you? This is the Muses Behind the Music pop-up show. Pop-up show, yes, it's something new. It's something very different. I wanted to create, just these random moments that when things happen in the world, we can have conversations about it. And so much has gone on in the last week. And I want to share just for a few moments. And so I brought back to the space, Annisse Murillo-Shaw, y'all, the hyphenated name. Got to come on it now because she's a married woman. I was a married. So y'all can still go on ahead and share this with others. I want you to jump into the conversation, please. You can find us on, our YouTube channel, The Muses Behind the Music, our Facebook page, The Music Behind the Music, and like and subscribe and share this conversation and give StreamYard permission so that you can jump in and make comments for our brief moments that we'll have together. Thanks, Annisse, for being present with this. Annisse is the original, one of the originals. There's only two of us, so she's the other OG. The sign language thing, I don't know if that's, but at least it's the O. So listen, I wanted to talk briefly today about image and just kind of get your feedback. We had just the very tragic news of an extremely talented brother, Stephen Twitch Boss, who had committed suicide. And, one of the things that just kind of just gets to me is how social media is just one outlet to how the world kind of cultures us to not want to share with people when we're not doing well. And so everybody was extremely shocked, I mean, of course, off of the nature of, him being so young and committing suicide. But the other thing I think that really got to people was the fact that he posts every single day, him and his wife, on a regular basis, I should say, these videos that are just popping and I'm fun and I'm loving them, having a good time. My life is and then we right, his dance, phenomenal dancer, and then we're assuming by all of these things that we see, life is good.
Yeah,
it's good. And for the people who will come on to social media, because I've seen it too, and they will be honest enough to say, I am not doing well. Y'all, I need prayers. Sometimes some people's inner response is you don't need to be putting your business out there like that. What you telling everybody that you ain't doing well for? It's just such a messed up trend of thought. To me, it is. And, from your perspective, you're a little bit more engaged into the social media life than I am. And I just think it's not even a generational thing. It's, that's your feel, your flow. What did you think when all of this kind of came to the surface?
I think I was I was shocked myself, but it always is very interesting to me to see people that are I can't believe this. He was so happy, he was so this, and it's just how do you know? How do you know? Just because I feel social media, the biggest thing with social media is that we look at these images that people have created, these online images that people have created, and we think that that's them. There's no other part of them. It's almost like we just completely take out of our mind the fact that there's other aspects to it.
I also that we kind of did that before social media came to the front line of things. We do that with people who are stars. We look at them and we just they show us the good all the time. We're oh, we want to live these lives. They're so fabulous. Nothing wrong with them.
Or even without social media, even at church, think about the random person that, you sung in the choir with for 20 years and you find out something tragic or crazy about this person. And you're really, that person? because you've been around them all this time, but how many conversations have you had with them? How many of those conversations went beneath it, but above a surface level?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's so real. And I was wondering like too, I was like, you know what? I don't know. I don't know how his wife, if she knew. Because sometimes some people are just good at hiding.
Yeah.
They're really good at hiding. I know I was brought up, you don't talk about stuff that goes on with you that's not good. Even and it was
Really?
crazy, like, yeah, like not in my family. You didn't have, and you definitely didn't step outside the door and speak about anything that was happening inside the house that was less than good. So
Mm,
it was always about image. Make
yeah.
sure that when you go to church, when you go to school, that people always think that your image is good, your name is good, you live to good. And then, it's like the world just gets devastated and shocked when something actually happens, like that really could happen to you. It's almost like um we deify the actions, make it like little gods, and then when things happen, kind of like preachers. Nobody ever
Mhm.
expects a preacher to like F up. Sorry,
Right.
best way of putting it. And then when something happens, it's like, oh my God, I can't believe that he's human. She's human. Like, I'm just concerned about some of the images that we're putting out to especially young people, because like your generation and younger, I think is just, and it's not that my generation and older is not influenced, because I see some of the stuff that like my generation, and I'm just like, aren't you older? Ain't you too old to be like out here trying to be impressing people? you know but I'm concerned that even when I talk to like my son, and what happens here in this world, this realm, really gets him going.
Yeah.
It's fake.
It's fake.
I
Say it
mean,
louder for the
you know,
people.
it's fake. I mean, for
Yeah,
real,
it
it's
is.
like when I do a video, I'm focused on like, okay, I want specifically, especially if I get the opportunity to do it and re-record a whole bunch of stuff, I'm gonna make it perfect. That's the idea. But
Mhm.
in church, oh my gosh, in church now, since pandemic happened, we can't even put up things of recordings and voices of people singing and people playing music unless that has been the perfect take. You can't do that anymore. And it
You
makes
said
me,
after COVID though?
yeah, after COVID,
Why do you think like COVID has some significance? Like what do you think is the significance of like it happening like that after COVID as opposed to before when it was, okay.
well, because before, like, you do the live streaming of stuff, and I mean, it's just that nobody was ever thinking. Then we're in pandemic time, and people are
Mm.
like, "Oh man, I'm going to start making. I can go record voices separately, and then when we do the service." You're seeing like 500 people, and there's only 10 people who went in the studio to go and record this thing, and it sounds masterful. And
Yeah.
everybody wants to keep that same kind of like feel, that same kind of
Yeah, I think COVID actually I asked because it made me start thinking when you just said that about COVID's impact on all of this and just how a lot of social media, I don't know if you know this, but a lot of social media like TikTok blew up because of COVID. During COVID it was already there, but they got a lot more users because people had a lot more time on their hands and
mm,
just from my own experience, my second year of grad school being completely online because of COVID and having to now make videos of things that I would usually just go, you know, I get one shot, I do it, and it's over. Now I'm like, I can't do that. Like, I can't put this out. This is terrible. I gotta do it like 1,000 times when in real life I would have done it once. And I think it just put that perfectionism on people that maybe didn't have it, and then the people that already did have it, it just heightened it to a completely different level. And now we're just kind of stuck in that
Yeah, you
post.
know, hey, look, I'm gonna put this up. This is Rob. This is Rob Brown. This is my boy right here. I'm gonna put them back on, bruh, just for you. Rob,
Nothing.
the new Kappa in the house. Go ahead, brother. Um, yeah, no, I agree with that. And you know, it's problematic. It's problematic for the people who are perfectionists. And then now social media, it's like we got to have you do. I need to be even more. I need to make sure everything is together. How's it affecting like you?
Mm.
I want to know just like personally, like how are you dealing with it? Hey, like
Yeah,
let's
I have to.
Plummet says the world is competitive. That's why it's a choice to be of it or not of it. Yeah, you know, and go ahead, Annisse, like respond to that. I could easily respond to that too.
The world is competitive. That's why it's a choice to be of it or not of it. Are you asking? Uh,
I almost feel like he's saying, like, you know, you can be a part of the social media world,
uh-huh.
or you choose not to. But some people just don't have strength of decision making. They're not very good at that. They're influenced by
I get it now.
everything. That's what I'm feeling with it. Correct me if I'm wrong, Alex. What like do you think so?
Yeah, I mean, social media world is very competitive, but my whole thing is like I just hate that it's even considered as a different world because it should just be the real world, you know? It's real people mostly because you know there's bots.
What?
But I feel like it shouldn't be like a separate world. You know what I mean? It should just be, and I feel like it is that because people go on there and they be someone else or they be whoever they want to be. And then what Alex was saying, it drives people that are just like looking for community in different places, it drives them away because I'm gonna say, okay, I don't want to be a part of a world where everybody's pretending. You know, you choose to be of it or not. I think that was like my interpretation of that part.
Mhm. I
Um,
think it's also like you can be hidden. You can be hidden. Like the
yeah,
I don't want to make it seem like social media world is so far different because we do this stuff in everyday life. You know, we have the Twitches who may or may not, because I don't know. I don't know the depth of his story and how any of this and what he was dealing with, but let's just assume he was quiet about it. You know, let's just assume like he didn't share with anybody. We got that in the real world. And I think then you have it in social media where now it's like, okay, well, I'm going to live this constant image to even a bigger audience because now you can reach people before like stars were not as accessible. You could
yeah,
them in magazines and books and see them on movies, but you can now literally see their life being played
mhm.
out in front of us. So
And
um,
you can also contact them too. I mean, they probably won't respond, but you can like literally DM your favorite artist.
the access
Yeah,
is real, and I just want to I think it's important as artists that we have some sort of an outlet. I just had a teacher friend of mine who passed last week. He was funeralized today, and the thing was that he was going through some health challenges and didn't share. He's a very private, was a private person. We get that a lot too, right? I'm a private person. I don't like to speak about this kind of stuff. And some of us as friends just respect who you are. Okay, we're not going to delve in too deeply to it. But I think that there are times that when things are happening and we see things with the people who we love and care about, we need to completely ignore our whole philosophy and delve in.
yeah,
Like we ask the questions, what's happening? what's going on? I see you, or I don't see you, something.
Yeah.
Y-
You know, that's hard for me because you know I'm that type of like person who's like, if you don't tell me, I'm not gonna ask. You
Yeah.
know? So that's really hard for me because I'm like that person, like, if you need help learning how to mind your business, I'm your guy. I can help because I know how to mind my business, and I encourage everyone to mind their business.
I encourage you.
But I feel like, you know, sometimes I'm noticing, like, in my own relationships that minding my business sometimes is coming off as like me not caring and me not really being present and not noticing, not paying attention to, you know, what they sometimes I'm thinking that, you know, I'm noticing that maybe some of my friends might feel like I'm not paying attention to what they may be going through, like emotionally and stuff, because I'm not asking or I'm not prying. But because I feel like it's prying, but they really want me to ask, like they want me to be involved. So I think that the solution to that is to just be open, communicate with the people that you love. If that's what you want from them, if you want them to, you know, like, I need you to check on me, you know, I need you to be present. Like, don't ever feel like, you know, you're getting in my business or you're prying. I feel like there just needs to be a lot more open communication about, you know, people's desires and what makes them comfortable and what makes them uncomfortable, so that there's no, you know,
Yeah, that's so real. That's real. And I'm gonna put up this quote that Rob says too. Black men are not encouraged outside of our culture to speak on their feelings. Even in our culture, when men express anything other than humor or anger, we're looked at as extra or drama. And I think
very true.
that is so true. And Lord knows if with all of the things that fall on a black man's shoulders and life, they ought to have the space where they can speak ever so freely without any judgment, without any bias to what they're saying or thinking that they're being dramatic. It is so incredibly important. And look at who we have here, Normita. Normita, communication. Yeah, communication is key. Like raise our hands to that because we need to. I was sharing with you the other day because we were talking a little bit about this when we were talking about love languages and dealing with that whole same thing about the mental health, the way that you may be in the position of being like, I don't want anybody asking me questions about what's going on in my life because I feel that that's kind of prying. That's your love language. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? But my love language is I need you to ask. I need you to step in and communicate with me. And if we're in each other's space, just know that that's what makes me know that you really understand and love and respect. And I won't ask you. You won't be asked. So I'm not gonna ask. I'm not gonna ask you. During pandemic, you know, is when I was literally more awakened to the fact that, people do go through some mental health challenges here because you are completely removed from other people. And for those people who are extroverts, they were hurting.
Mm-hmm.
People who were introverts,
On
they
vacation.
were hurting greatly. Us ambiverts, you were loving it. Amen. I ain't got nobody got to be trying to get me to go out here. But I sent a system to several of my girlfriends, and it was a system of hearts because I got this off of online, and the hearts had different colors, and it was like green, I'm really good. Red was like, I am not doing good. I need somebody to talk to, and all these different shades in between. And so it was like once a week, just sending it to do a check-in. I don't want us to lose things like that because now we feel like we're not in the pandemic.
Yeah. You
What?
ain't send me that.
Huh?
You
Oh,
ain't send me no hearts.
all the time. What you say? I
Because I
was
would have been sending you some reds.
now you already know I was checking on you. All right. You don't even have to worry about that. I want to put up Jay Jacobs. Jay Jacobs says there should be a safe space for Black men that are going through mental health issues. I feel like due to our upbringing, we don't have a space to speak at all, especially for Black men. And that is so very true. I do wish that we had these safe spaces, and there are some, and when you can find it, and and I'm speaking to my brothers out there, and that the people that you have these relationships with, that they are honored and they are respected and they are protected. Y'all dig into them. I'm in the process of trying to teach my sons it's okay to cry. It's okay. I had this conversation with my son today about, when I said he was talking about an issue he was going through, and I was like, I'm gonna pray for you. And he's like, oh, that makes me feel like I'm weak. No, no, I know crazy mentality, but there's this thing of in the male mind, I can't explain it because I ain't there. One of y'all brothers tell me what the heck you talking about, when that comes about. And I'm saying, no, I'm praying for you that your need is being met. That exactly, Rob said
Mhm.
society beat into him, and yeah, and I want him to switch that paradigm to know that it doesn't make you a weak person. That makes you stronger when you can say, I'm in need of this, and then you have people who support you in making sure that that need can be met.
Yeah.
I don't know. And I always want to meet, you at your need too. You my God's order, but you my GF. That's girlfriend out
For
there.
life.
For life, for life. Ski. What do you think? How do you think social media should respond to all of this? I mean, I know, and I'm seeing it all the way through. Like people's comments are just about, I'm so sorry, I'm devastated, da 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 da. But do you think that there should be some extended call to this thing? Like I just don't want us to go back to old norms.
And that's really what I was gonna say. That's the what I was gonna say in a nutshell. Like, it's always really interesting to me to see when things like this happen. People are like, "Oh my god!" Like, check on your friends, like check on your strong friends. Make sure you do this. Make sure you do that. And then a few months go by and you don't check on your friends no more.
Yeah.
Like, you're not doing it anymore. It's always something happening that makes you do it, and then you don't continue it. And what I want to see from social media is, I want to see this continue. I want to see people continuously reminding people to, check on their friends, or to talk to someone, not even from not even the checking on side, but if you're the one feeling it, then talk to someone that you feel like you can talk to. I
Yeah.
want to see more of that narrative being pushed through the media, not just because someone took their life, but because someone might take their life.
Yeah. Yeah. That right there. I also want to add on to that and say that I want to see people live authentically. I want to see people not feel like they have to put up a farce because and I'm not saying that happy moments are a farce. I'm
Yeah.
just saying, like, there's a particular person, and we were talking about this person, and they are an influencer, and they are out there. I'm not going to call their name, but every single time I see their video, it's just this big fat smile. And like I'm sorry that there's just something in me that just doesn't feel that it's authentic all the time,
Yeah.
because we're not in this space like, hey,
Hmm.
that's just not, we have highs and lows. And I just want to see people be just, can you show us
Yeah. I
a
remember
little.
you said you saw a video of that person like being upset and you were so happy.
I
That's
was happy. I know it sounds crazy, but I was happy because I finally saw a glimpse of their truth, like this
Mhm.
balance. I saw a well-rounded person. Do they not believe that the people who are watching them so intensely, some people are stalking them, but do they not believe that if they shared how they got over a struggle, that it would encourage the people who are listening and watching, that they would feel all the more inspired to know about these people's lives and to follow them. Like,
Yeah, I don't know if it's that they don't believe that. I think it's more of just people get stuck in this, idea of I created this brand and sad is not my brand. Happy is my brand.
oh yeah,
So,
yeah.
yeah.
And
I know I gotta catch myself sometimes because I'll like tell myself, okay, I'm gonna post this video this day. I'm very structured with everything, with
mhm,
everything I do is on a schedule. And I'm like, okay, this is what I'm gonna do for this day, da 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 da, whatever. Or this week of my social media, I'm going to roll out this or whatever. And let's say it's a Wednesday, we get to that Wednesday and I'm having a horrible day. But the thing that I wanted to put on social media was about having a great day,
mhm.
right? I will still go ahead and do that. Put the thing about the great day, knowing that I'm having a horrible day. And stuff like that like bothers me. And I don't know. I wonder if it bothers other people because it doesn't seem like it. It seems like sometimes I like tell myself, that's what you're supposed to do, but it's really not. Like who said that that's what's supposed to happen? I mean, if you upset and you want to talk about being upset, talk about it.
Yeah, I
Um,
mean, that's real to me. Like, I just want to be around some real people. You know what
2023,
I'm saying? What you say?
2023. If you ain't real, you out.
Oh, I think it's supposed to rhyme, yo. Like, it didn't even
I
rhyme.
mean, don't matter. It's facts.
Anyway, yeah. I mean, that's real though. Yeah, people feel obligated or trapped to show up as people expect them to.
Mm, yep. And that's like outside of social media. That's just life.
Yeah, well, you know what? That ain't me.
We know.
I am not about to live toward nobody obligations. And yet that doesn't mean that I don't there's not a space in me that wants to be acknowledged and appreciated by other people. It just means that there's a larger part of Michelle that don't care. Like,
Yeah.
and I say that in the best sense, like, because I've already been on that side where the larger part of Michelle cared so much. I put up stuff all the time about Capricorns. Capricorns are loyal, and I'm loyal to a fault. And that's just the truth about who, we are born under this sign, right? And the reality is I've been burnt so many times by my loyalty that now I've just found ways to make sure, at least to me, that I won't be it. So when you get let in, when you're in that space, you're in that space,
Yeah.
and that's a good space to be in.
I feel
So
like I'm always joking with you and laughing at you about, I'm like, you're like, Annisse, I don't care. And I'm like, I know, like, I know you don't care. But I care. Um, we're always having that conversation.
always, every
I
day.
feel like, I feel like, I don't know. I don't know if it's just this moment right now. I'm feeling the feels, but I feel like more people should be more like you because it's really not that you don't care. Well, maybe it is that, but it's not like 100% that you just like I don't care. It's that's what you give, but that's not really what it is. It's just you care so much more about your point of view of yourself and
Yes.
your view of what your reality is. It's just no comparison for you to like care about someone else's view and yours. There's no
Yeah.
comparison. And I
Yeah.
feel like that's where a lot of people, and I'm a lot of people, get, mixed up because it's a comparison. Like it's equal and it shouldn't be equal. I don't think so. I'm now feeling like it shouldn't be equal. But for a long time I felt like I should care more about what other people think because if I don't, then I'm selfish. And I only care about
Agreed.
myself and I don't want to be self-centered. I don't like self-centered people. So I don't want to ever come off that way. But we need a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, again, it's a process, man. I didn't like, I think, all right, part of me, I might have been born into it, but I had to get to the space to feel comfortable with Michelle and not worry about anyone else's opinion of me. Like, secure. I'm secure in me. And that took some time to get to there. And so it's a balance too, because there are beautiful aspects of, someone who has your characteristics, who takes a look at, you're an empath too. You're a deep rooted Cancer empath. And it's a beautiful thing. And I need to have a little bit more of that too. So it's a balance.
Yeah.
It teeter totters. I want to put this up real quick too before we go off. Some family can hold stuff over your, oh,
Oof.
boy, can they? Let me just say, family are people too. And I am not holding any obligations to people because we share the same blood, because you got a personality in you. And sometimes your personality is toxic. And that runs from mother, father, sister, brother, uncle, cousin, auntie, whoever it is. If you're toxic, you're going to be removed. And so that's a necessity in there as well. Feel trapped from what Bible says about how see, but about how you. I had to step up. Hey, step away. Sometimes it's necessary. I learned that from a good friend a long time ago. And even stepping away, like Annisse, you and I, we were just in conversation about this. Every single year, I step away from social media. I do it it's cleansing.
It blows me.
Yeah.
She does it on her birthday.
I don't do it all my birthday. I
I
started.
mean, but if your birthday falls in your social media break, and see, that's the thing. Like, why does that blow me? It blows me real bad because I want you to see what I post on social media for your birthday, even though I talk to you on the phone like 10 times.
Exactly. And you can always just send it to me by text and it will be just as beautiful. Like that kind of, I'm good and I appreciate it. And people do make posts. Thank you, you all. I appreciate that. And I'll read it later and I'll respond and all of that. Social media causes you to create a false reality. I just wanted to put that up there too, because it really does, Mita. And I just want to live in a space where we're real. Last thing, I heard Michelle Obama. I was listening to a video and she was talking about relationships, and she was talking specifically about being in marriage and giving of oneself, and how it's not always equal all the time, right? Because this goes with image too. But she was speaking about the fact that we need to share with others when we have our highs and our lows, so that we are learning from each other, because there are some experiences that might not um they might not look the same way, but in essence they have a similar theme. And how I got through, if I don't know about the struggle and how to get over, then I won't know about the struggle and how to get over. And I thought, my God, we need more conversations like that. And so, I'm hoping that these pop up moments will be helpful and inspiring and give us food for thought, and like make us just take better action and better care of ourselves. You talked about being selfish, girlfriend. Go ahead and be selfish, not self-centered, but selfish. Because the reality is, if you do not feed yourself the things that you are always trying to feed to others, you really don't have the full capacity to do it well. Like love. If you don't love yourself to 100%, you cannot possibly love anybody else to that degree. It just can't work. Honoring and self-care and all of those things, and our mental health and our emotional and spiritual well-being, those are all the things like we just need.
I agree.
Thanks, sis. Appreciate you. And I appreciate y'all for jumping on this thing. All right. We out here, y'all.
Oh, wait.
Yeah, don't catch us.
I challenge y'all to go post something on social media, like anything that you're feeling right now, just post it right now. I'm
Yeah.
about to do it. I just stopped myself. I'm about to go post something on social media that I don't know what it's
Oh,
gonna be, but it's
I
gonna be
love
whatever
it.
I feel right now.
Hey, look, I'm gonna put it in. Wait, I gotta put it in the chat. The challenge: go on social media.
Post how you're feeling genuinely right now in this moment, whatever it is. I'm hungry.
That's it. Right now, in this moment. I can't type fast, y'all. Now, in this moment, I put in these moments. My God. In this moment, yeah, that's it. Right now, that's your challenge. How come it didn't go? All right, I gotta press enter. That's what it is. Thanks, y'all. Thanks, Niecy Poo. Love you, girlfriend. See
Love
y'all
you
soon.
too.
Bye.